Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and today we're going to be doing my March currently inked / March in review. So let's just get started right away. So when I do my in review spreads, I like to rank them like from my most favorite to my least favorite of the month, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So I won't even waste any time. Let's just get started. So my favorite combination of the month was my clear TWSBI Eco in a fine nib. This was actually my first fountain pen and my shimmer workhorse, I call it. This is inked with Wearingeul, the Autumn Night After 1,000 Years, and I love Wearingeul's bottles. And it is a shimmer ink, as you can see, and you can definitely tell in my feed. Yes, I put shimmers in my fine nibs. Life is too short to not enjoy your shimmers in pens that you love. But yeah, this is, it's like a mossy green color. I feel like the label is pretty accurate with gold shimmer. I got this at Atlas when I was there in October, and I love this ink. I've had, as much as I love this ink, it's been a bit interesting oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to open this. I had this ink in my LAMY and it like did not work. I don't know why. There we go. Did not want to open for me. And I'm going to be using my eyedropper to put a little drop on the page and then using a sandwich baggie to spread that around. So, where did I put that? There it is. Just try to get a drop here. Oh, that might be a little bit much, but that's okay. And then I have my water over here that I'm going to rinse it out with. But as I was saying, I had this ink in my LAMY and it like did not really work very well. It was very like, it skipped a lot. And it just wasn't the best combination, unfortunately. But this one, I was like, okay, I need to try it in my TWSBI Fine Nib here, because this one handles shimmer like a champ. And I was like, okay, well, if that pen can't handle it, then I don't know what pen can. You know what I mean? So, oh, that's just so pretty. It is kind of a big blob, but I don't know if you can see that, but I love it. And it was a little bit rough to start, but once it got past its like initial like skipping, it has been just fine ever since, which I'm very, very happy about. Oops, I got some on my desk. So yeah, I also didn't mention this notebook. This is a Galen Leather B6 notebook with 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. I use Tomoe River paper in everything, so I wanted my ink journal to also match and reflect that. So this is my TWSBI Eco in a fine nib, and it is my clear one, and it is inked with Wearingeul. Oh god, this is gonna take the Autumn Night After 1,000 years. That's such a long name. There we go. So this is a bottle, and I'm giving the ink a 10 because I think it's just glorious. I'm going to give the flow a 9 just because of that weird, like, hard start in the very, very beginning. And I'm going to give this combination, I'm going to give it a 10 because it works light years better than it did in my other pens. So, yeah. I loved this combo, and I'm to use this for my so I was a bit apprehensive about using this combination for my 5-year because of the problem I had with it in my LAMY and also with how it was writing to begin with. But thankfully, once I started using it on the LAMY, on the Hobonichi paper of my 5-year, which is in this beautiful cover from Estie, it's just been a dream to write with. So I'm very, very happy about that. It's
Voiceover Emily here. Stay tuned to the end of the video to see some close-ups of all of the swatches once they are dried. Now resuming back to the original content.
There we go. That is my favorite combination of the month, my TWSBI Eco Fine Nib Clear with Wearingeul the Autumn Night After 1,000 Years. All right, now for my second combination, it was another TWSBI Eco, this time the brand new Espresso Bronze color, and I have this in a fine nib as well. This is my first, like, I guess, specialty edition TWSBI, and I love it. Like, as soon as I saw this color, I had to have it. So this is inked with Ferris Wheel Press Age of Aurum. It's this, like, brown, I would call it a brown. This brown color with gold shimmer. I'm a gold shimmer fan. I mean, what can I say? So that is my second favorite combination of the month. And now I'll just try to swatch this out. I'll do my best. I feel like I'm gonna need a bottle of this. I just really enjoy this ink a lot. I was debating using this one this month but I wanted a gold, and I have Diamine Gold Star, and I'm convinced that ink is cursed. It just didn't work in my TWSBI Fine Nibs, so that's how I'm like, I don't know. So I opted for this one. I felt like that was like the next best, like, gold. Oh, that moved. This is gonna be not great, but that's okay. But I loved this combination. This was the first ink I put in this pen, and it was a shimmer. But that swatch is kind of not great, but that's okay. But yeah, I absolutely loved this combination. And like I said, I feel like I'm gonna need a bottle of it now. So my second favorite combination was my TWSBI Eco Fine. This Espresso. I have to be careful not to get my thing in there. Espresso. There we go. I just Espresso Bronze. And this is inked with Ferris Wheel Press. I'm going to do it on the next line. Age of... And I don't know how much of the shimmer I actually got, but not much in the sample. But it is just so beautiful. It's like just a kind of a different, it's like a yellowy brown. I really, really enjoy it. This was a sample. I want to give the ink a 10, the flow a 10, and the combination a 10. I find that Ferris wheel press shimmers work the best for me so far. I am a fine nib girly, so I find that Ferris wheel press shimmers have the most like uniformity throughout the writing, and I have not had flow issues with a Ferris wheel press shimmer. So not to mention their colors are just stunning. So I really, really loved this combination. I loved this combo and so glad I paired them. Uniform shimmer, great flow. May need a bottle. I think that's all I wanted to say for that. Yeah, I didn't expect to love this ink so much. I definitely wanted to try it, hence like why I got a sample of it, but I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. So that was my second favorite, the TWSBI Eco Espresso Bronze with Ferris Wheel Press Age of Aurum. I think I'm going to move on to the next page and try to space it out a little bit better. Yeah, I'm going to move to the next page. The Galen leather notebooks here, as you can see, like the pages are blank. So they give you these like underlays to serve as a guide, which I really like. It helps me keep my writing straight and everything, but then you don't have the lines distracting your view. So, all right. So anyways, my third favorite combination of the month was my Esterbrook Estie Quirky Leaf with a medium journaler nib on it. Medium, and then this is a custom grind from Esterbrook by Gina Salarino, I believe. It's basically a medium cursive smooth italic, or like a medium stub is the best way to describe it. And I have this inked with Ferris Wheel Press Peter Moss, and I knew I needed this as a combination because I feel like these two could just be permanently inked. I love this combination. I love this ink in this pen. I feel like my Esterbrook here is having some like oxidation issues because I feel like if I don't write with it for a little bit, the ink will get kind of darker than it should be. I noticed that especially with Robert Oster and the Coffee Monsters Co. Day to Night especially. So I'm not exactly sure what's up with that. I hope I hope it's not defective or something, you know? So I'm not sure what's up with that, but oh, look how pretty this is. There we go. That was maybe a bit too much as well, but I feel like I had to try this ink because I was like, okay, like what's the hype of Peter Moss by Ferris Wheel Press? Well, I get the hype. It is such a beautiful, just like deep green, and I feel like look, I feel like that's a pretty good match. I feel like it's maybe like not as like yellow toned green as my Estie is, but I think it's a pretty good match nonetheless. So this is my, this is definitely a different writing experience than with my TWSBIs. Like, obviously this is a Jovo, or Yovo, I think is how you say it, Yovo number 6 nib, I believe. And it's much bigger than the TWSBI nibs. But it is the most expensive pen I own, thanks to my lovely boyfriend. Quirky. And I wanted the journaler nib because I feel like it was like, okay, if I'm getting an expensive pen, I want it to be something that I don't have already. I want it to be unique. So I'm very thankful for that nib grind. And I feel like I'm gonna need to get a bottle of this too, or like at least like a smaller bottle or more samples of it or something, because I get the hype. Yeah, so an ink of 10, flow of 10, combo of 10. I feel like these two could be paired for life. They match so well. I totally understand the Peter Moss hype. LOL. I write LOL a lot. But we'll definitely need more of this ink. So lovely. But yeah, I just like to also just, write a little synopsis about the combination and, why I liked it, or more importantly, like why I didn't like it. So yeah, that is my Esterbrook Estie Quirky Leaf with the journaler nib with Ferris Press Peter Moss. All right, my next combination is my LAMY All-Star. Well, there we go. My LAMY All-Star in Sage with a fine nib. The train's going by. I'm so sorry. But this is my LAMY All-Star with a fine nib in Sage, and I got this pen when I was at Atlas, when I got this ink, Wearingeul, the Autumn Night After 1,000 Years, and you can see that shimmer now that it dried. So beautiful. That ink did not work in this pen, and they're both fine nibs, so not exactly sure. But this is inked with Ferris Press Aurorealis, and Ferris Press shimmers have worked beautifully in this pen. I wanted to get Aurorealis. It's their 2024 ink of the year or something, or the like special edition ink. But look at that shimmer. You can see the dual chrome in there of like the gold and the like pink or purple. It is just beautiful, and I am so glad that I bought this ink. I did not try this ink as a sample first. Oh my god, that just got water everywhere. I did not try this ink as a sample first, which is something I want to try to avoid, but I could not help myself when it came to this ink. And I don't really edit my videos, so I'm keeping that in. That is too funny. We've all had something like that happen, right? I feel like I need to get more of these like eyedropper things. Oh gosh, that's probably going to be a lot as well. I'll rinse that out quick. But yeah, it's a bit deeper than I thought. I guess I wasn't expecting it to be so like deep in color. I'm closing that before I spill it. As you can see, I'm just getting klutzy with things, so. But yeah, it's just such, it's very much like a royal purple, and I think it's just beautiful. And to be fair, like, I know I said, like, I ranked these. Like, these ones aren't, they were all so close this month. I guess with the exception of my last pen and ink combination after this one, but I feel like I might keep this inked for April because I feel like I didn't get a chance to use this combination as much. Same with Peter Moss. And also, Peter Moss is getting this, like, it's almost like a purple sheen. That is so interesting. I'm not sure how much you can see that, but there's like a slight purple sheen right here. Or I don't know. I'm not the best at, like, you know, all the fancy terms for fountain pen ink properties, but it's kind of interesting. I guess I haven't put this in a blob to really see that yet. So that's pretty cool. So this is my LAMY All-Star in a fine nib, and it's called Sage. I could not resist the sage green. Green is like my favorite color, I would say, at the moment. So I just love it. And this is inked with Ferris Wheel Press. And this is Aurorealis. Hopefully I spelled that right. This is a bottle. And I'm giving the ink a 10, the flow a 10, and the combination a 10. I have not had any issues with this combination. There we go. So I've not had any issues with this combination. It's very lovely. Mostly uniform shimmer. Ink is darker than I thought. Still beautiful. Oh my gosh, I can't spell. There we go. So that was my LAMY All-Star fine nib in the Sage colorway, and this is my only LAMY, and I do really like the LAMY. I feel like the grip helps a lot. It's like this triangular grip, so I hold my pens very low, which probably isn't the best for fountain pens, like especially with like my TWSBIs. Sometimes like I won't realize it and I'm like holding my pen like all the way down at the bottom, but that's okay. Anyways, you can kind of see here too that shimmer, and you can, I don't know how well you can see, but I love the duochrome of that. It is just beautiful. So last but not least, we have my least favorite combination of the month, and that is my TWSBI Eco. Once again, this is my extra fine in the white colorway, and this is inked with Sailor Shikiori. Yep, Sakura-Mori. I thought this ink was just beautiful online, and it is a very, very pretty ink. It is very light, but I just haven't reached for this combination as much this month compared to my other ones. Something else I've noticed too with this ink is that like when I open it and I start like writing, there's like a significant odor, and it's not like a bad odor, it's just I've never noticed a smell with my fountain pens and inks before until using this ink. Like I said, it's not bad, but just something I noticed. So let's give this a swatch here. And yes, it is a very beautiful ink, and it's still legible for me because, you know, like many others, legibility is a huge thing for me. I basically exclusively use my, oh my god, that's so liquidy. This is going great. I basically exclusively use my fountain pens to write. So I'm just gonna spread this around quickly before it like totally just melts through the paper. That's also another reason why I like having the guide behind it, to help prevent bleed through to the other page. I also skip pages when I'm doing like big pages like this. There might have still been some Aurorealis on there, but, and I might not have like dried that out all the way. Oh my god, I'm knocking over my samples. See, this is why I always close everything right away so I don't, you know, spill it everywhere like I'm proving to. I'm normally not this klutzy, but of course once you start filming yourself, right? As you can see, it's such a stunning pink, and I really inked this up for March because I just wanted to use it. But I think for April, I'm gonna put, I think, a darker pink in here. I'm not exactly sure yet, so I guess stay tuned to see what I decide to put in this pen. But this is my TWSBI Eco, my extra fine in white. And see, now that I'm like writing with it, I notice the odor. And like I said, it's not bad, but just something I noticed. And this is also my first Sailor ink that I've used. So yes, this is Sailor Shikiori Sakura-Mori, and it is very beautiful. I'm glad to have tried it. I don't think I would try it again. So I'm gonna give this ink an 8 because it is pretty light, but it is still very beautiful. I'm gonna give the flow a 10. I have no flow issues. And then I'm gonna give this combo, maybe I'll give this combination an 8. I would love to try this ink maybe in like, you know, my fine nibs here, or even maybe my journaler nib, just to see how it'll do in a slightly broader nib, since this is my extra fine, therefore it is obviously going to be lighter. But yeah. So a very, very lovely ink, just did not reach for it as much. Light, but still legible. And I'm gonna just write my note about the odor, which again, not bad, just something to be aware of. And then would love to try in a broader nib. Anything else I want to say about this one? I don't think so. But yeah, not a bad combination, just not one that I gravitated towards this month, and that's okay. So that is all of my pen and ink combinations for the month of March. We have my TWSBI Eco White in a fine nib with Sailor Shikiori Sakura-Mori. And then we have my LAMY All-Star with, which is a fine nib in Sage with Ferris Wheel Press Aurorealis. And we have my Esterbrook Estie Quirky Leaf with the medium journaler nib, inked with Ferris Wheel Press Peter Moss. Then we have my TWSBI Eco Espresso Bronze in a fine nib, inked with Ferris Wheel Press Age of Aurum. And then we have my TWSBI Eco Fine Nib Clear, inked with Wearingeul The Autumn Night After 1,000 Years. So that is my March currently inked. I apologize that it just got dark. I use natural lighting and then just my lamp. So apologize if the lighting was off in this video, and also apologies for my probably rambling and stammering. This is my first time doing this, so if you stuck around this entire time, thank you. And I'm excited to talk about more pen and inks with you as I explore my fountain pen, journey more, and I hope to do that alongside you. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.